If you're a player of the Sicilian Defense, whether as white or black, there's a crucial variation you should be aware of, the Smith-Morra Gambit. And that's not all. I have an intriguing chess puzzle in store for all of you. So make sure you stay tuned until the end for the full experience. This gambit is used as white, where you offer a pawn with pawn to d4. But first, you might wonder why you should consider this line at all. Well, when you opt for the main line knight to f3 against the Sicilian Defense, you encounter a significant challenge, a multitude of complex variations. Dealing with these various systems can be quite daunting. However, by choosing pawn to d4 followed by pawn to c3, you narrow down your focus to a single system, simplifying your study and preparation. This gambit involves sacrificing a pawn to gain a position that allows your pieces to develop rapidly, giving you the opportunity to launch an early attack against black's king, which often lags behind in development. While the Smith-Morra Gambit has been a potent weapon, black players have discovered antidotes over the years. This is where my secret system comes into play. Now, let's explore why this opening is so formidable. In the past, black often played moves like d6 to develop their knight, but white could potentially chase it with a central pawn push like e5, leading to a powerful attack. After d6, you play bishop to c4, and when black responds with knight to f6, you can push your e5 pawn, creating an attack. In this scenario, white can even play bishop takes f7, followed by capturing black's queen on d8, leaving black in a dire position. The Smith-Morra Gambit has been a formidable weapon in the hands of many players for years. However, black players started to find ways to counter it. They realized that by avoiding an early knight to f6, they could prevent the central push to e5, thus avoiding the strong attack that often followed. Instead, they began with moves like knight to c6 and e6, sidestepping moves like d6 or knight to f6. In this evolving landscape, the Smith-Morra Gambit gradually fell out of favor, as it seemed to work primarily against unprepared opponents. However, there's a secret line that can rejuvenate the Smith-Morra Gambit and make it a potent weapon once again. This hidden gem involves the move knight to d5, a sacrificial move where you offer a knight. This variation poses an incredibly tricky challenge for black, including experienced players, as it can be challenging to find the correct response. It may seem counterintuitive, but the most natural response for black, which is pawn takes d5, is a significant error. At first glance, it might appear as if white's knight sacrifice was unnecessary and uncalled for. However, there's a clever strategy behind it. By capturing back with a pawn after pawn takes d5, you prepare to launch an attack on black's king. This sacrifice exploits black's neglect of kingside piece development and forces them to pay the price. On the following move, you deliver a powerful rook to e1 check to the king. If black attempts to shield the king with one of their pieces, you're poised to advance your d6 pawn, which puts pressure on the covering piece. This dynamic forms the foundation of your attack. In many cases, black opts for knight to a5. Following this, you continue with rook to e1, directing your assault towards black's centralized king. In essence, white's straightforward attack and the complexity of finding adequate defensive moves make it challenging for black to navigate this position, often leading to a favorable outcome for white. At times, black may try to counter by trading off pieces, believing that it will somehow slow down your attack. However, this strategy doesn't alter the fundamental issue, which is black's centralized king. Even in exchange for a few minor pieces, black cannot easily develop their knight to f6 since that would relinquish the defense of the e7 pawn, allowing you to capture it with the rook and deliver a check. If black attempts to move their king away, it remains stuck in the center of the board, unable to bring their rook into play, leading to an awkward position. In the meantime, you can continue advancing your pieces and maintaining the attack. If black plays f6, don't hesitate to capture with your bishop, intensifying the pressure. At this point, you are not only advancing toward black's king, but also attacking black's rook. This tactical sequence ensures a favorable position for you. If black moves their king to defend the rook, they are left with few options. Subsequently, rook takes e7 seals the deal, and on the next move, you can checkmate black with one of the available checks. In this scenario, executing your attack is straightforward, while black finds themselves uncertain about how to respond effectively, making it a challenging position for them. Frequently, the best move for black in this situation is not to capture the knight with a move like a5, attempting to eliminate the attacking pieces. However, even if black chooses a different move that doesn't capture the knight, it doesn't mean their situation will improve significantly. In response to virtually any non-capturing move by black, you can play bishop to g5. This move intensifies the pressure on black's position. With the knight already controlling key squares, adding the bishop to the mix creates a daunting threat for black. Black might think about playing f6 to kick your bishop away, seemingly gaining the upper hand by attacking both of your minor pieces. Initially, it might appear that black is on the path to equality and may even win material, but this is where you unveil another spectacular move, knight to e5. This move has a dual purpose. It frees up the diagonal for your queen to access, which will be crucial for chasing black's king. The danger level rises significantly because after queen to h5, a near checkmate looms in the form of scholar's mate on the next move. Sometimes, black may attempt to play g6, attempting to deter you from delivering the check on h5 with your queen. In such a case, you can still cycle your knight to reach the king, maintaining your threatening position. It's a relentless and frustrating situation for black, as they try various moves to break free, but your relentless pressure keeps them on the defensive. If black plays g6 to prevent queen to h5, you can execute a combination that leads to victory. Begin with knight takes f6, delivering a check to the king. They must recapture with their knight, and then bishop takes. This move not only attacks the queen, but also threatens some version of scholar's mate, achieving a satisfying checkmate. This variation highlights the potency of white's attacking potential. Another scenario you might encounter is when your opponent feels uneasy about capturing your knight, fearing a counterattack. Instead, they may opt to continue their development with knight to f6. In this case, you can follow the same principles we discussed earlier. When your opponent doesn't capture your knight, play bishop to g5 in the next move to apply additional pressure on black. If black ignores the knight and focuses on their development, they might play bishop to e7, attempting to overlook your threats and continue their development. However, this often leads to an exchange, and when you play pawn to e5, it becomes evident that black cannot escape the pin. Consequently, you can capture a free knight on the next move. Now, you might be wondering what happens if black chooses different moves than the ones we've discussed today. In today's video, I've covered the most common variations and moves that black typically plays in response to the Smith-Morra Gambit, according to the database. However, it's possible that your opponent might deviate from these lines and choose different moves. In such cases, I would recommend referring to my previous video on the Smith-Morra Gambit. In that video, I provided a comprehensive overview of this opening and discussed various variations that black can opt for. Now, it's time for a puzzle. In the given position, it's white's turn, and you need to find the best move for white. Share your answers in the comments, and let's see how many of you can solve it correctly. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with future videos. Take a moment to check out the other videos appearing on your screen right now. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care and peace.